Hey, shalom, everybody. I pray that everyone's having a blessed and productive day. All praise to Yah. Um, I have a message, a very serious message that I think that we as people, you know, everybody alike, that we need to really understand and grasp, especially during the times that we're in. That first and foremost, um, we need to learn how to uh, be grateful for what we have, for where we are, um, because without gratitude, you know, we we tend to overlook the goodness of Yah in all things. His word says that we should proclaim His good works throughout the earth, praise His name, and proclaim His good works. You know, when Yah blesses us, we're supposed to go out and tell people. We're supposed to, um, tell our testimony. We're supposed to, you know, give Him glory for what He's done in our lives. This is where people see the power of Yah. This is how people um, begin to, hear about Him through what He's done in your life, through the miracles that He's done in your life. And a lot of us are truly blessed, blessed beyond measure, and yet we find the smallest things to complain about. We find the most like futile things to, be upset about. You know, you could find someone that has a pretty decent job and they could, they could have enough money to do what they want to do, and they buy a vehicle, but because it's not the right color, or because they wanted this series, and I didn't want to 6 Series BMW. I wanted the 7 Series, and just like little things that people really, it dampers their day. You could tell like they're really upset about it. They're distraught, as if it couldn't be quite worse, as if they're on their last leg. Like this is about to take me out. And the reason like I'm making this video, because when you don't understand how good that Yah has already been, and what He's continuing to bless you with, you will no longer be able to continue to see Him bless you in other areas, because what He's already done has not been acknowledged. For instance, if you giving somebody a place to stay, and then let's say they end up getting on their feet, maybe like a few months later, a year later, and the only thing this person could do was complain about your home, and well, you didn't have this, and man, I'm used to having a house with 4 bedrooms, and man, this place is small, or man, when y'all ain't got no Wi-Fi. This person just steady complaining the entire time. Now the next time that this person needs you, or the next time this person asks you for a favor, are you inclined to do anything for them? If you have a child who, you go bend over backwards, you make sure they have the best clothes, make sure that they going to a decent school, you make sure that they have what they need, you buy them whatever food they like, their favorite foods, you take them out on, you go do family things together on the weekends, and you make sure that you're attempting to give your child a very good childhood. As a parent, you're not abusing them. They have what they need. Their needs are being met, and you're showing them love. And this child does everything to dishonor you, to discredit you. They don't, nothing you could do is good enough. How would that as a parent make you feel? So if your answer was, I wouldn't get them anything else, I wouldn't do nothing else for them until they get their attitude together, then that is the very same attitude that the Father Yah has about His people today. That's the very same attitude He has, that's the way he feels about us, because a holy God that does not owe anybody anything but justice. And just get what I'm saying. He owes us justice. He owes us for the sins that we have committed, the atrocities, the abominations that we have done, the things we've done to defile ourselves, the things we've done to defile other people, the things that we have done to defy Him, not keeping His commandments. Um, um, you know, looking down on His ways, as if like we don't have to serve Him and do what He says to do. Getting mad and throwing temper tantrums when we don't get things our way, when the very life that we have is gift enough. It's a blessing. And we walk around as if our lives don't mean anything. We complain all the day long. You see people, they have a job, they're getting off work. There's somebody that's homeless. There's somebody that right now might not be homeless, but guess what? They scared that they're about to be on the street, and they would love to be on an interview by tomorrow to be able to make it to a job or be able to have a way to have steady income. And you complain that, but you think that your job is bad, or you think you don't won't have with everything you need. You're complaining about not being able to buy your home. You're renting though, right? But nevertheless, you are in something. You're in a place, a dwelling place. You're not out in the heat. You're not out in the elements when it's cold. You have somewhere warm to sleep. You have a refrigerator. You have a stove. You have a restroom. You have a bathroom. You have furniture in your house. Might not be what you want, might not be the fanciest, but you have furniture. You have a place. And there are millions of people out here on the streets that's in limbo, being told they got to leave this property, being told they got to go from over here, not being able to, not being able to, relax and feel safe anywhere because they're out on the streets. Like, we really got to stop thinking that we are owed this fairy tale. We gotta stop thinking that we're owed this fairy tale dream, because we're not going to be able to receive anything from Yah with unthankful attitude. That was one of the characteristics of the end times of the people, that he said that people will be boasters, they'll be prideful, they will be unthankful. Think about that. Like, those are one of the sins, or one of the things you could do that could cause the Most High to, say, depart from me. Because a God that is good, you gotta think about a God that is good and that deserves praise at all times. Think about that. He deserves praise at all times. And every time you open your mouth, you complaining against what he's doing, against him. If it's too hot, then if it ain't too hot, it's too cold. If it ain't too cold, you know what I'm saying, it's raining too much. Got too much rain or not enough rain, you know, you just never satisfied. Never satisfied. Oh man, pollen got my allergies. I got my sinuses. You're never satisfied. You woke up, you was able to go outside, breathe fresh air, and you find ways to complain. We gotta really tap in and really start to look at what we have and cherish it before we lose it all, before it's all gone. And you're gonna have those moments where you're gonna look around and you're really gonna reevaluate what's important and who's important to you. If y'all's not on that top of that list, you better reconsider putting them up there, because trust me, he's going to put this world in a place where people are gonna start realizing, like, yeah, is this ain't it. What I thought life was, um what I thought, really was priority, is nothing compared to what I'm thankful for now. and we got to honor him for real. And I feel like as believers and we in our word, and sometimes we come across scripture and we think that the Most High just talking to us, but man, we gotta start reminding people. We gotta start reminding people. We gotta stop saying silent. Like people start, walking around you, and first thing they want to do is, man, man, tired, man. This stuff is just, man, food too high. Well, man, look, hey, you still able to walk out with groceries, right, man? You blessed, you know. Hey, your job, you might be aggravated, you might be tired, but man, thank y'all you was able to do something today and make some money. You might not be where you at, but it says that we should open his courts with thanksgiving. Enter his courts with praise. Open the courts with thanksgiving. Like that means you, even when you pray, man, you start by thanking him. That's what I do. I thank him before I even start praying. Before I get into what I need, what I want. And he's about to really give a lot of people a reality check. And some of us know better. Some of us, we know where we come from. Some of us know how dark it really was. And when you get on the other side of that, and then you get used to, you know, a certain new normal, you don't you get spoiled. And sometimes adversity, sometimes being in lack, sometimes gives you that element of just Thanksgiving, because you like, man, when you had to eat turkey sandwich and cheese, turkey and cheese sandwich for dinner, and that was good to you. You tend to, when you get a little bit money, you tend not to be so uppity. You tend not to look down on the small things and take it for granted. A full, and this is another part of it too, because you know the things that we're about to see happening, if you're on the right side of the Messiah, if you're on the right side of Yah, if you keep constantly seeking Him, if you're constantly following His commandments, if you're listening to Him, if you're trying to get understanding about what's going on, and you're trying to get discernment, and you're trying to stay prayed up, and if you're staying, excuse me, if you're staying prayed up, if you are praying for others, if you're still seeking to bring truth to others, you desire to see people delivered and saved, this will not affect us the way it's going to affect others. Remember, when they were in Egypt, they were enduring plagues. You know who was getting the bad end of the stick? The Egyptians and those who worshiped their idols, who worshiped that system, those who didn't know Yah. They were the ones who were really receiving the worst of the wrath. Those who did not have their doorposts covered in the lamb's blood, those were the ones that lost their firstborn. Even, you know, you just look at certain things, when they were in Egypt, although there was a famine, people were still eating. That was the whole reason why Yah gave Joseph the vision, so that he could be obedient and he could save the people. That was what he was brought up for. That was his calling to save the people of Egypt, and as well as his brothers, his family, his people during a time of famine. They weren't lacking for anything. Right now, Yah has specific instructions for us. He has specific instructions for people. He has. We're in a time that we're seeing the money and the financial situation. We're seeing things change. We're on the brink of something new. And if you're paying attention to it, and if we're all being wise and asking for wisdom from the Holy Spirit, He has a plan for us to sustain. And it's not just for us, it's also for us. In the Bible, He said that He intended for Israel to be the people to lend to many nations. We're supposed to be above all nations. We really haven't seen that. What we've seen is we've been a part of a system that has stolen, that's pillaged, that is, uh, you know, basically strong armed all of the resources of the world and controlled those who had it, and then found a way to manipulate it and to, you know, dominate people to keep themselves in power. But what is happening is a shift and a repositioning of the wealth, and we need to stop acting like victims. We need to stop acting like we're always losing, because what you think looks like a layoff is an opening for you to start your business. What you think looks like the president doing this, and oh, you know, they're laying off plenty of jobs, and no, they're laying off. How you know that in the next 6 months you won't be the person that the Most High raises up to employ those same people through your business, but you're so busy looking at yourself as a co-worker, as a laborer, as an employee. You don't see yourself as a person that can manage wealth, and the only thing you think about when it comes to wealth is how much you can get and what you can do to look like you got a lot of money and how you can impress people. That is not what wealth is for. During this time, the people, you know what I'm saying, who are taking advantage of investments and those who the Most High is giving wealth to, we're going to be the ones that are going to sustain and continue keeping the world going during this time. He didn't mean for all of us to be subservient to this nation. You got to realize, man, these people, the people that have controlled and founded this nation, man, these people are crooks. These people are Masonic. These people are evil. These people do not serve Yah. These people are not the Yah's chosen. They're not Yah's chosen people. So you have to realize, like, the yeah, they have to now balance the debts, and they think running and trying to hide and hide their debt and erase their debt. No, you have to answer to what you've done. You have to pay back what you owe. They've stolen land, acres, hundreds, millions of acres of land from people who y'all gave it to. And they're not getting off scot free. The wealth is, it has to be taken from one. Like the word says that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. As he's shifting things and he's moving people out of position, some people that are losing their lives, there are people that he's raising up who are going to be controlling the majority of the wealth. And these are only going to be the ones who are obedient, those who are are willing to listen, those who are willing to use the funds based on what Yah and the kingdom has need of it for. There's people out here who are hurting. There's people, millions of people out here on the street. There are people that need places to stay. There are people that need housing and healthcare and all these things and jobs. And then there are people out here that he has ready for them. And I believe and I know that he's going to take care of his own. Y'all always does. Y'all always does, man. I just can't. Me and my family, man. We for a year now. We um have relocated based solely off of the word of the Most High, what He's given me 3 years ago, getting me ready, and offered just nothing but pure faith. I thought of Abraham the entire time I was going through this. Hey, I got a land for you. I got a place I need you to go. And he told me where it is, where he wanted me to go to. And I got ready, prayed about it, fasted. My wife, we fasted together, heard a confirmation. And then as time got closer and closer, and then we knew when it was time for us to go, and we prayed. Y'all made provision for everything we needed to make it happen. And we left. And I know that I didn't do this in vain. I know that Yah has me here and where I'm at for a particular reasons, for a specific purpose. And amidst everything that I'm going through, the only way The only thing I continue to do is look up, look towards Him, because only He knew the answers. And my family didn't understand it. My wife's family, they don't understand it. No one could really, get why we had to leave the way we did. They didn't understand the certain decisions we were making, but it wasn't for them to understand. And at the end of the day, through our obedience, we're going to be a blessing to many people. It's been confirmed so many times, man, what Yah is decided and what He's going to do through us. And like I said, it's not just going to be us, it's going to be others. But those are going to be the people who are humble enough to deal with the power and the authority that He's going to be giving them, to the means and resources. He's not going to just put it in the hands of people who are prideful or who are wasteful. And that goes back to this is what I was talking about earlier. Always being grateful, always understanding that where you at may be where you need to be. I learned so much, man, during this move, and we had to really depend on Yah for the first time in my life, like literally, really depend on Him. I ain't talking about just praying and yeah, He bless you and then you kind of good and you can sustain on your own. Like no, like we literally been out here depending on the goodness and the favor of the Most High every day, every day in so many ways. He's showing up, and we had to see that. We had to go through that wilderness experience, waiting on manna, not physically, but just that's like the children of Israel. We waiting on our manna, waiting on that raven to send bird, that raven to send, food, having to literally trust Him in that way. And He ain't failed us yet. Praise, praise is what gets you into your breakthrough. Praise is what shows the Father that yeah, you really love Him and that you trust Him. Praise is really where we are lacking. Everything ain't always centered around your wants and needs, and I understand that some of us we need a whole lifestyle change. The American people, we are a wasteful nation. We are very lazy. We're becoming, man. Technology is making us lazy. It's making us shut off our brains. It's making us not creative as we could be. It's making us forsake fellowship with others. You know what I'm saying? We can't do anything without phones. We can't enjoy just nature. We really have lost ourselves. And that has to, I understand, like, yeah, man, we have to get back to who we were. We have to get back to the ways of Yah. And all of this stuff, man, He don't care about all this, honestly. It is foolishness. It's foolishness. It's foolishness to Him, man. And the way we want Him to do things and move on our life, we got a lot of selfish desires that we got to get out of us, man. Like we can't come to Him with all that. You know, we got to ask ourselves, those who who are really waiting to go back with Him, waiting to go back to heaven with Yah. Do we understand, like, man, do we ever think, like, what is the kingdom really going to be like? I know it's going to be nothing like what we experience down here. We have to have a whole mind reset. And that's why we have to have our minds renewed now. When you get baptized or born again, you have to have your mind renewed. You got to stop thinking the way you were thinking. And sometimes not always centered around evil thoughts, but man, sometimes, you got to get yourself back to a point where you're just content with the little things so you can enjoy what Yah have for you. To read a couple of scriptures because you know you have to point people to the word, and I'm speaking on behalf of Yah as a servant of the Most High. So, is always good to you know proclaim His word, teach people His word, because a lot of people don't even read their Bibles. Or a lot of people are not really familiar with the scriptures and what's in it. But James chapter 1 verses 4 says, "But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing." And to break down that scripture, when you need patience when you're dealing with frustration. You don't need patience when you're dealing with, when you're rejoicing or when things are going well. You know, that's kind of when life is a breeze. You're just able to walk, and you just everything just coming easy. You kind of just coasting. But when you need patience, that means your nerves are being tested. That means your attitude is being tested. That means like when people say like I've had it up to here, like you're suffering with problems. You're suffering with struggles. You're suffering with like I said, contention and just all kinds of things, strife. You're dealing with a lot. So it says, but let patient have her perfect work. So the whole object of patience, producing patience, is to perfect us. It's to perfect you and I, that ye may be perfect. See, that's what I said. Look, her work be perfect. Let her perfect work, that ye may be perfect. So it's for us to be perfect, just as I just said, to perfect us, and entire meaning whole, wanting nothing. When you want for nothing, you're in a good place. And a lot of times you can't equate that to things. You can't equate that to a marriage, to a house, to children, because people have these things. They have all of these physical things, but still are empty. How can Will Smith, one of the most successful actors, what I'm saying, of our generation, how can he say that he isn't happy? And you think, man, this man got the car, the nice house. This man got his name rings bells. He's done so many different movies, blockbusters, hits and all that stuff. But man, say he's not happy. So he's still wanting something. He's still not whole. What the thing we seek, what we desire, is not the bag. It's not the woman or the man. It's not notoriety. It's not none of those things. It's spiritual. It's fulfillment. It's being fulfilled, knowing that you have served your purpose here, and everything that we are is supposed to be used by Yah. Everything that we have, we're supposed to do it unto the Most High. We're supposed to give it unto the Most High. We don't just give tithes because the Most High needs our money. We give back knowing that it comes from Him, the opportunity, the gift, and the talent. We know that those doors He opened up, and we trust Him, and we give back. We give back our life. We give back our breath, our praise and sacrifice. Everything we do is unto Him because He deserves it. So when you live your life deciding that you're going to live and you're going to pursue what you feel like is important, and you decide, I'm not going to take this time to serve any other God, or I'm not going to serve the Most High God. I'm not going to understand the Bible that I say I believe, even though I say I'm a believer. I just want to pray that y'all bless everything and bless me, bless my children, bless my family. I want Him to just bless everything that I set up to do. And then I want Him to just be okay with what I'm doing. And I don't never check back in with Him. I only talk to Him when I need Him in an emergency. See, you got to realize, you might pray, you might know who He is through the word, through maybe your mom bringing you to church, but that's a forced relationship. Somebody has to force you to go see somebody. You don't really want to see them. You only have a conditional love for them. On this condition, I'm only sitting before the presence of the Most High on this day, because that's when not everybody else does it. That's the only time I feel like is appropriate. I don't think He needs to know about my life, or I don't think I need to let Him in on this. And I'm going to just work wherever I want, and then I'm going to just choose the career that I want, and I'm going to close this door, and I only want Yah to be okay with this version of me, and I don't want to hear what He feels about it. And so then you just live your life bumping your head up against the wall, or you go and you reach this pinnacle and you find out it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. And it's a sad thing, man, but a lot of people are really, it's like, man, a lot of people, they're living in a house of cards right now. A lot of people have built empires on their name. They've stepped on a lot of people. They've lied and cheated a lot of people. A lot of people have done a lot of dirt. A lot of crimes have been committed, all for the sake of people getting their version of the American dream. And a lot of people are about to lose it. And then not only that, they're going to suffer severely because they didn't get to know this God. They didn't get to know Yah as a father. They didn't consult with him. They did what was right in their own eyes. And then not only that, but they allowed people to hype them up, and they got big headed. A lot of them have been puffed up and pride in their accomplishments and their knowledge, and they have sought people to worship them. A lot of people, they have fans, but they're not fans. Those are your those are the people that worship you. You're their idol, and that's a dangerous place to be in. When you care more about somebody feels and thinks about you, you want that person to worship you. You want that person to see you in a certain light that you don't deserve to be in, because you and I, we are not anything. We're nothing good without Yah. It don't matter what you've done. It don't matter who you are. You are nothing without Yah. Nothing. And I think he is going, and I don't think this is exactly what he's going to do. He's going to remind a lot of people of that. And the people who are content, the people who are going to still be able to sustain, the people who are still patient and at peace during this time of tragedy, and during this time of loss and economic collapse, there are going to be people who are going to be okay because they put their trust in the Father and they ain't put their trust in man. Let me continue. Romans 12 and 12. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. So as a believer, we're always patient in tribulation. We've studied and earned, we learn through our walk. We learn how to suffer. We learn how to fast. We learn how to not have a lot. We learn not how to have fun and do a bunch of things like, man, you got to die to your flesh and your wants, and you got to stop wanting so much. Just being content in him, resetting your expectations. We so quickly want to do what everybody else doing, and little do we know we're being saved, man. We're being saved from being lost and blind. We're being saved from wasting thousands of dollars, man. Guys, it's showing us, man, that this stuff you don't even need. These things that you desire, man. What do you even want? Why do you even want it so bad? Why are you trying to go out and replicate what everybody else has done and doing, just to say that you're a part of something, just to say that you're doing what they doing? Yeah, I can take my kids here too. Yeah, me and my wife, we can do this too. Like, we are a generation of people who just follow trends, and we just don't know where our true happiness lies. As long as we can say, look, we're able to go here. We're able to flash money too. I'm able to wear this. I'm able to buy my wife this. I'm able to buy my mama this. I'm able to do this. We doing this stuff as a flex, but it's not really even making you happy. It's not, these things is still, you still have unresolved hurt. You still have people who are still suffering in your family around you. How are you being a light to them? How are you being help to them? How are you blessing others? We got to stop being so um, gotta stop being so selfish. Psalm 37:7. Rest in Yahuwah, wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Don't worry about what they're doing, the wicked is doing. We're not going to be upset or fret. We're not going to be upset because of the person who's prospering in their wickedness, because it says before pride comes before a great fall. And a lot of people who are wicked, they're moving in pride. The wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. What is he telling you? Let them store up, let them do all the stuff that they're doing, because there is a such thing. It's called recompense. That's when they have to pay back what they've stolen. They have to pay back for the injustices, for what they have done, the atrocities. We all have to be paid back. That's why there's a scripture in Galatians 6. This is Galatians 6:6 says that uh, be not deceived. Elohim is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. Whether it be good or bad, you're going to get it back. You sow good during this time, you will get good back. While others are getting dealt that hand, that bad hand that they played to others, they're getting that hand dealt back to them. Last scripture, Exodus 14:14. Yahuwah shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Yeah, okay, that's it. Exodus 14:14. Yahuwah shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. I remember seeing that scripture on the TV with me and my wife were praying a couple years ago when we were going through a situation concerning our daughter when she was sick in the hospital, and we're gonna tell that testimony, at the right time. But yeah, man, the healthcare system, they wronged us. Department of Social Services, they wronged us. The people who we were um, dealing with around that time, a lot of people, you know, that were involved in that case, in that situation, they did us wrong. And in the Most High Yah, they did my daughter wrong, and the Most High Yah gave me that scripture and continued to show me and just continue to remind me of that He's fighting for me. I don't have to lift a finger. Let Yah fight for you. He can get a whole lot further than you can. He can do a whole lot more damage, and no one can check him. So people, understand where your help come from. Be grateful. Be thankful. Let's hide in the ark of safety during this time. Get to know him now before you really need him. So that way, when you're friends with somebody, man, they're only one call away. But when you're a person with, man, you only call when when you need something, man. People don't pick up for you. People don't like to deal with you, you know. And you got to realize that, man. Relationships are what's important. You know, that's the most important thing. And our Father in heaven, that's what He wants too. He wants a relationship. That's all. He wants to get back connected with His people, with His children. Let's not just look at Him as just an object to get where we're going. But once we have Him, we have it. We have everything. The God that made us, that knows us. We have the prize in Yah. In Yah. That's what this is all about, y'all. We won't be afraid because He's with us. He already told us this was happening. He already forewarned us of this in the Word thousands of years ago. He sent many prophets to continue warning people, continue prophesying about these dates and things and times that's happening right now. So He's already told us about it. So all we are supposed to do is prepare. But in that preparation, we're going to be okay. He raises soldiers. He allows us to go through the toughest things and overcome. And on the other side of it, you don't look at what you're going through. You look at how much you've grown. You look at what disciplines and what things help shape and mold you into the person you are now. And then you look back at that and like, man, on the other side of that mountain, I thought that I was about to die. But now I look at now like it can't nothing stop me. And I done went through the storm. When you go through the storm, that alone gives you a certain power that's undescribable. I don't walk around strapped. I don't walk around with weapons on me and none of that. Cause I know he fight for me. I know that, man. Look, ain't no witch, ain't no devils, ain't no army, ain't no team, ain't nobody that can touch me as long as I'm connected to him. And I stand right standing. I'm on the righteous side. You can't do anything with his children. Not just me, any of his children. So many of y'all need to come on the right side right now. Y'all need to come on the right side because that's where your safety is. That's where your provision is. That's where your assurance is. There's a lot of people gonna lose hope in these last days, man. A lot of people gonna be looking at their bank accounts. Some people gonna be wondering where their money at, wiped out, and then that's gonna be enough for them to want to end it all. That alone. You ain't really seen real persecution like most other countries. As believers, we really have not seen real persecution. We haven't seen it. And I don't think a lot of people are ready to handle it. And I pray that y'all get your minds right. I pray that y'all get your hearts right. Get your heart right. Clean your heart up. Be intentional about seeking the Father. Be sincere. And when you're approaching Him, be sincere about helping people. Because it's gonna take a relationship with Yah. It's going to take being covered by Him to endure what's coming. That's all I have right now, y'all. Y'all be blessed, and I appreciate all the subscribers, and I just ask that y'all continue to just check out the pages and all my Bible study videos, and the words that Most High is giving through me. And I'm just trying to be obedient, y'all. I pray that this word has blessed you. I pray that it is sparking something inside of you. I pray that it's allowing some people to uh, get uh, um, get a what's the word I want to look for? That people begin to um, seek Yah with the more hastiness, because it's time is winding down, people. Time is winding down. Y'all be blessed. Until next time, shalom.